for one, I think the filmmaking excels in this movie over over the last film. And I say that because I think it does a lot of really great setup and payoff that we didn't. I mean, you don't really get that in Diamonds Are Forever. And I think it just takes some extra planning for that kind of stuff. I like the sequence in the beginning of the movie where we see all these different deaths early on of all the different agents and where they're going to die and how this all happens. Because then we know we visit it later and we use it as expectation. Like, for instance, the Harlem or the other CIA agent that's in Felix's unit that we kind of think at first we're like, oh, he must be one of Kanenga's guys. Because there's that whole sequence where, he's getting chased and,
he's like following a cue ball.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't know what happens to him. They don't show what happens to him, but we're left to be like, oh no, he died. Like, it's the same thing that happened in earlier in the movie. Oh, he got killed. We didn't have to show it to you because you already knew that he got killed. And you wouldn't see that in the last movie.
Which guy?
The black CIA agent that is like the guy who's like, geez, Bond, you coming to white guy coming to Harlem.
But they don't kill him.
I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over.
They don't kill him.
He's killed off screen.
They do kill him.
He is
the
killed. He's killed off screen
kills him.
because they're what happened to so and so?
He's killed
we
just
don't
like
know
the
where
other
that
British
guy's
guy.
at.
No.
Yes, he gets killed.
We don't see it, but it's
no, he doesn't die.
The parade kills him.
The parade kills him.
Okay, the parade kills the white guy in the beginning.
Whose funeral is it? Yours.
Yes, they set that up in the beginning of the movie. In the next part of the movie, you don't see it. It's off screen. And you already know that that's one of the things.
It's implied. No, listen. It's not implied. It is implied. It's implied that he's going to die.
It's implied that he dies, but we see him.
It's implied that he's going to die.
We do not see him after that part of the movie, so it's implied that he dies.
First off, they should have given him more screen time. That would have been fun.
I like him.
But instead they gave him one scene, and then you're like, wait, where's Black Felix Leiter? And then we catch up with him. He's at Filet of Soul, just like the agent at the beginning of the movie. And then they have the whole parade come through,
and they're asking where is so and so.
They build up like, oh my God, wait. Oh my God, is this are they going to kill him? Oh my God, they're going to kill him. It's going to be the same as we saw before. And just when you think they're going to do it, they don't.
They don't.
But they start the party
music. They
music.
don't show him getting killed. But
they start the party music.
What they show,
it's fully implied.
They show is the first shot of him is it's him waiting there on the corner, same position, same thing as the last movie, which I think is also the brilliance of this movie.
You're like, oh my God, they're going to do it. They're going to do it.
But you're as the audience, you're expected to know that because you're like, okay, well then what happened to him? Because the dialogue from Bond and Leiter when they're in Filet of Soul suggests that he dies because they're like, well, where is so and so? And we never see him for the rest of the movie. No. And if you watch that sequence the way it's edited, the other guy who comes up in the beginning of the movie, he says, whose funeral? And he says, yours, and he stabs him. Yeah. We just see him come up to him. So as an audience member, you're like, oh, based off what Bond and Felix are saying in Filet of Soul, and the fact that we don't see him, and then the next shot we see after he comes up is just them doing the dun 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 dun. That makes you realize, like, oh, it's implied that he did get stabbed, and that. So here's the
thing. Here's the thing. I'm saying I completely disagree. He does not get killed.
He gets killed,
and here's why. Let me tell my portion. So he's standing there. It's all being built up for the audience. Like, holy shit, they're gonna do it again. They're gonna kill this guy. They're gonna do it. You have crying bitch. She's crying. You have everybody walking along all solemn. You have little stabby guy walks up, and little stabby guy looks at him, and then they just cut to, and it's almost as if they canceled the hit because they went, this guy's cool. He's black. Who cares? So then Bond and Felix get out of the car, and they're like, yeah, quite a send-off. And then they go sit down, and it's like, you got a phone call. You got a phone call from this agent.
One of you guys called Felix Leiter?
Yeah, right here.
Telephone call for you. A guy called Strutter.
Thanks. For a minute there, I thought Harry was laying down on the job.
And then Felix is like, oh, I thought he was laying down on the job, which is a joke about, like, I thought he, we're supposed to be like, oh, I thought he was dead. I thought he was laying down on the job. I thought he was dead in the street. Felix goes and gets the phone call, And then Felix comes back like nothing happened.
Is the call from that guy?
They say that it's from that guy.
Okay.
But I don't think he ever got the call, or he went to get the call and he wasn't there, and he's like,
I thought that was a distraction tactic in order to get Bond.
A lot of times when you have that moment in spy movies where you have the distraction phone call happen in movies, a lot of times they will then cut to the person receiving the distraction phone call. I think what would have solidified it for me was if Felix goes to answer the call and Black Felix isn't there, and he's like, what? And then he comes back and Bond is gone. I mean, instead they obviously they chose to stay with Bond the whole time and show how he disappears under the floor.
Yeah,
that would have solidified it for me. I would have been like, okay, Black Felix Leiter is dead. But the way they put it, though, I never ever. I mean, I'm telling you, I've seen this movie 1,000 times, and it's like. Your initial, the way you watch it initially is probably going to inform the way you see it every time. I mean, maybe if I saw it for the first time today, I'd be like, "Oh, that motherfucker's dead."
Yeah.
But the way I watch it every time is I always see it as them, like that guy gives, the little stabby guy gives them a knowing glance, and I always interpreted it as they give him a pass. I never ever, until you guys pointed this out, I've never interpreted it as they killed him just like they did the agent in the beginning. And my mind is f***ing blown.
They definitely killed him.
Yeah, I was going to say on the flip side of what Charlie was saying, if it was supposed to be the movie tricking the audience, they would lead us to believe he died like they did, essentially exactly how it is in the film. And then we actually see him again.
Yeah.
But he never comes back.
But
here I am being like, that guy needed more screen time. And you guys are like,
yeah, he's dead.
He's dead, you idiot.
He's totally dead.
No! They
killed him.
They killed him off screen. But that to me is also
no.
But that to me is when I was the same way. I was the same boat, Charlie. Like when I watched this as a kid, it didn't register with me when I watched this as a kid. But as watching as an adult, I missed the fucking joke.
What the?
I missed the joke.
Okay, so wait. So. I mean, I wish they would have made it a little bit more clear. Okay, because here's the thing. When it comes down to it, my take on the whole funeral procession is that they put Three Blind Mice to fucking shame.
Yeah.
That is by far
the
greatest collection of assassins that we'll ever see. I mean, like we have some good assassins so far.
Mr. Kim, Mr. Wayne.
But
we're great.
But think about it. Every time they want to kill somebody in the New Orleans fillet of soul, they have to get all of these people. They have to call everybody. It'd be like roll call to like right now. Like, well, when do we have to report? Now. This guy's outside now. So they got to get crying chick. They got to get little stabby guy. They got to get bugler. They got to get everybody lined up around the corner. And then they all got to start moving. Every time somebody's standing outside the fillet of soul, and they got to get crying chick crying. They gotta get gotta get stabby guy ready to commit murder. It's by far the most elaborate and greatest collection of assassins, and they do it in broad fucking daylight. These people are like, they put Three Blind Mice to shame. That's just three guys pretending to be blind. We've got like 80 people pretending to have a funeral so they can take out one guy. Instead of having just like a sniper sitting in a window and just shooting the guy, or even just having little stabby guy walk up and kill somebody, they have an entire fucking funeral procession to take out one guy. It's the greatest thing ever.
Daniel Day-Lewis parade.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
But I love it. I love it because as soon as you watch that guy walk up to that same post, you're like, God damn it, he's gonna die.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
there comes the parade.
But then the bugler
comes the parade.
So
You're like, no.
I always thought they spared him because they were like, oh, he's black. Like I never.
They don't give a shit.
Like my mind is blown. I mean, I've seen this movie 100 times. I never thought that he was dead.
No, he's dead.
He's fucking
full on
dead.
Yeah, they killed that.
I never ever.
So
wow.
to add to it, though, if
Never
you think
blown
about
his
this
mind.
movie, I think what's great about it is that they really do a great job of showing how Kananga's empire is built and how it operates, where we never saw that with Spectre. We just see, I take that back. We do see it with Spectre with the, the room full of dudes and they all telling what their plans were and everything.
Yeah.
But when it came down to the micro level, not the macro level of how things operate, this movie shows it in spades, right? Like we see Bond going through Harlem.
Literally.
Spades, James, everyone.
Pun not intended. Not intended. You see how many people are in his empire and they're on the phone. And he's coming down this way. And like, you see all of that, not to mention how he has all these different people that are working for him in different aspects, killing these MI6 agents. So I enjoy that sequence of all that stuff happening early on. And then we come back to it later, but now Bond's in those situations, or it's something along those lines. Even the Flea Soul, right? Like we see it first. Bond gets there, and then he's like, "Oh, I'll sit at this booth," and then the booth turns, and he meets Mr. Big, and then he comes to the other one with Felix, thinking, "Oh, I bested them. I'm not gonna sit at the booth table now," and then he comes down. These are things I really enjoy about the movie that I think are very clever.
What's wrong with the booth?
I once had a nasty turn in a booth.